Hey, sixth graders, happy Wednesday. Hope all is going well. So, we got word that we're staying home for sure for the rest of the year. So, this should be fun doing math remotely. I think so far you guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm very excited about your work ethic and all the effort you're putting forth. So, I really appreciate it. Chapter 7 is coming near to a close. So, pretty soon we'll have some sort of assessment. The nice thing is you'll have all your materials at home with you, to review it, and it's obviously going to be a little different than normal. So anyhow, before we move on to 7.7, which is our new section, I'd like to just review a few problems from the 7.6 homework. For some reason, we had some trouble with determining if a number is less than, greater than, or equal to another number. So I want to go over those 4 problems really quick, just kind of talk about how you compare numbers. When you compare numbers, no matter what we have, if we have percents, decimals, fractions, when you get more advanced, you might have negative numbers. You got to get all the numbers in the same form. So if we look at 47, we have 70%, which is a percent, and then we have 3/4, which is a fraction. So you would have to decide which number to change to make it easier to compare. So what I would do, 3/4 is one of those numbers that you should kind of know off the top of your head is 75%. And if you're not sure how we got that, there's a couple ways you can think about it. 3/4 is 75%. 3/4 is 75 cents. So 3 out of the 4 quarters that make up $1, 75 cents. So those are some ways you could do it. You can also always divide 3 by 4, but hopefully you don't need to do that with 3/4. Okay, so when we get that changed over to a percent, we know it's 75%. So now we can compare the two. 70% is less than 75%. Okay, so some of you guys had greater than, some of you had equal. So I'm not quite sure exactly what was happening there, but just, make sure you're understanding that and correct it in your homework, okay? All right, 49. 49 was 0.2 compared to 1/5. Again, 1/5 is one of those fractions that we talked about way back in the day when we were doing long division. That's one of those that you should kind of just know or memorize. But 1/5, if you were to do the division, if you take 1 divided by 5, you would get 0.2. So these two numbers, even though they look different, they're exactly the same. So we would put an equal sign. Okay. Next, we have a couple more. The next one we have is 0.7 or 7/10 versus 7%. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a straight up trick question. They're trying to trick you. I'm trying to trick you, trying to see what you guys know, okay? Well, you know me. I'm not trying to trick you, but I just want to see what you guys have, in your arsenal here. So 0.7 and 7%. To change a percent into a decimal, you have to move the decimal, how many places? 2. 2 places to the left. So if we do that, the decimal is originally behind that 7, right? So if we move it 2 spots to the left, we get 0.07. So these indeed are not the same number. They're trying to trick you. Okay, so 0.7. Oh, Miss Antos did that wrong. That's supposed to be greater than. Oh boy. Change that. Make it greater than. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then we have, last but not least, again, I think they're trying to trick you because they have the same, quote, numbers. We have 37%, and then we have 3/7. 3/7 is not 37%. Okay? Just because there's a 3 here, and a 3 here, and a 7 here, and a 7 here, does not mean that they're the same. So when you plug this into a calculator, 3 divided by 7, you get 0.43. Actually, you get a larger number, but I just rounded it. It's 0.428, blah, 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 blah. And I went ahead and I rounded it for you. So one more step. If I were to change either one of these, I can make this a percent, which would be 43%, or I could change this to a decimal, which would be 0.37. This is going to be less than 0.43. Okay, so 37% is less than 3/7. Sorry about 51. This should be greater than. So make sure you're you're correcting that on your homework. So if you did not grab your homework, maybe pause the video, look at the screen. Remember, this is greater than, okay, and fix it. Okay? All right, now we can move on to 7.7, which is percent of a number. And what we're going to do is learn how to find the percent of a number. I'm going to kind of skip through this really quick because it's kind of, okay. So what we're going to do, what you do for this is you're going to use proportions to figure out the percent of a number. That's one method of doing this. So if I want to, oh, by the way, you should be starting a new piece of paper with your notes. Okay, sorry, going a little fast. You can pause me at any time. That's the beauty of this. You can't pause me at school. Maybe we'll try that next year. We'll have a pause button on Mrs. Antos. Okay. All right. So 30% of 50. Okay. There's some great information here going on. 30%, we know we can write that as a fraction. Keep in mind, proportions are two fractions set equal to each other, or two ratios set equal to each other. So if we have 30%, that equates to 30 over 100, okay? We want to know 30% of 50, so we don't know this top number, but we know the total is 50, so we're going to put 50 in the denominator. So we have 30 is to 100 as n is to 50, okay? Now we can cross multiply. So they're not showing you the cross multiplying because they're assuming you know, but it's that diagonal where you're going 30 times 50 and then n times 100. And if you clean that up a little bit nicer and multiply it, make it look like an algebraic problem, you have 1,500 equals 100 times n, or 100n. Okay. Now to solve for n, you're going to multiply, you're going to divide 100 on both sides. That isolates the variable for you, and you get n equals 15. Okay, so 30% of 50 is 15. Did I say 13? Yikes. Okay. Okay, sometimes you're going to have a problem where percent is greater than 100, and that does exist, okay? Like, think about if you get extra credit, you get all the problems right plus extra credit, your grade is over 100%. So that does exist. So if we look at this next example, 200% of 24. Okay, 200% of 24. So this is going to be a little odd, okay, because you got 200 over 100, which represents your 200%. And then you have your question mark. What's your amount out of 24? So we're going to cross multiply, and we get 200 times 24 equals 100 times n. If you multiply those together, clean it up, make it look algebraic, you have 4,800 equals 100n. Again, divide both sides by 100, and you get 48 equals n. This makes sense because, think about it, 48 is bigger than 24. We're taking a huge percent of 24. We're not taking 20% of 24, we're taking 200% of 24. So if you have that number where it's greater than 100%, your answer should be bigger than what you started with. If it isn't, then it's wrong. Okay? Okay, next, find the percent of each number. 40% of 40. Again, we're going to write our proportion. 40 over 100, that represents our 40%, and then n over 40 is what we're trying to find out. We're going to cross multiply. We get 1,600 equals 100n. Divide by 100 again, and we end up with 16. So 40% of 40 is 16. Okay. 150% of 64. What did we just say? If your percent is over 100, guess what? You better end up with a number bigger than what you started with. Okay? Set up our proportions. 150 over 100 gives us 150%. And we're going to say net n over 64. Okay? And we're going to cross multiply. clean it up to make it look algebraic. And we get 9,600 equals 100. And divide both sides by 100. And we get 96. So 150% of 64 is 96. Does this make sense? It sure does. We started off with 64 and our answer is bigger than that. So, okay, this is partially number theory. Okay, you got to know how numbers work. Okay, excuse me. Now, the other thing that you can do is use percents, change them into decimals, and then multiply. If you think back to everything we've always talked about, the word of means multiplication. So if I have 9% of 80, I would take 9% times 80. Before you can do any of your multiplication, though, you have to change your percentage to a decimal. So this is why what we reviewed at the beginning of this class was very important. You need to know how to move your decimals around. So 0.09 is equivalent to 9%. So if we multiply those two numbers together, we get 7.2, and that's our answer. Okay, that does seem reasonable. You can do estimates. 10% of 80 is 8. So if you round that 9% up to 10%, you can always estimate just to make sure you're getting the right answer. Okay, and then this is just kind of showing like where it stands. Okay, 3% of 12. So 3%, we would change that to 0.03, multiply it by 12, and we would get 0.36. And again, that seems accurate. If you want to do an estimate, you can. The key to this, guys, is when you multiply that your decimals are in the right spot. Because if you told me it was 3.6, I know that's not right off the top of my head just because of, you know, how long I've been doing this. Or if you tell me it's 36, again, I know it's not right. Okay, 36 is bigger than 12, so it can't be that. So just be super duper careful with the decimals. Okay, 21% of 40. Real quick, in your head, what's 20% of 40? What's 10% of 40? It's 4, right? So if we double that to get 20%, it would be 8. So let's see, hopefully our number is close to that. Okay, so if we change 21% to decimal, we have 0.21 times 40, which gives us 8.4. We're right on the money. Right on the money based on our estimate. Okay. Okay, 6% of 18. We're going to move our decimal 2 spots to the left once again, and we get 0.06 times 18. When we multiply those together, we get 1.8. And that seems about right because 5% of 20 is 1, which goes back to that whole like 1/5 that we talked about, remember? So we're pretty close. So we're probably in good shape as long as we did our multiplication correctly. Okay, we're going to do a quick word problem here. Write down the keywords for your notes. All right. So it says the estimated world population in 2001, gosh, that was 20 years ago, was 6,157 million, which means actually 6.1 billion, but we'll talk about that later. About 40% of the people were 19 or younger. What is the approximate number of people 19 or younger to the nearest million? So what you're going to want to do is take this number here, just the 6,157, ignore the million for a minute. That's kind of like a unit, so to speak. So we're just working with this number, 6,147, and we want to find 40% of it because almost half the world was younger than 19. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So we're going to, again, change this to a decimal. We can change it to 0.4 or 0.40, multiply them together, and we get 2,462.8, but that's not our answer. We have to tack on the word million, okay? They did ask what was the approximate, so I would get rid of this 0.8 by rounding. So the approximate number of people, 19 or younger, was 2,463 million. Or in other words, 2.4 billion